WJOB in Hammond, Indiana. I'm Jim Deedlaw, host of Jet in the Region. You know how the Community Programming Initiative works. Put a few coins in the slot. We talk about your city, your business, your organization, whatever it is. I'm going to start with that right up in a second. As soon as Malcolm tells me he's ready. We're on right now. Good morning, everybody. I'm Jim Deedlaw, host of Jet in the Region. All you folks in East Chicago that are watching this on television in East Chicago, you got to listen to my show once in a while in the morning. You know what I mean? Not just watching us when I get East Chicago people on in here. So we're going to have some, it's been a crazy morning here at WJOB, so we're going to get our sound a little bit better. Until then, you should be able to hear us okay. We got pretty good sound? All right, so let's move on. Let's talk about the city of East Chicago, which is paying for this portion. How you doing? I know who you are, but I want other people to know who you are. Introduce yourself, will you?
My name is Dr. Leon Carl Kendrick. I am the manager and creative director at East Chicago Academy for Visual and Performing Arts.
Dr. Leon Kendrick out of East Chicago. Now, Doctor, tell people where that is.
It's located 3601 Grand Boulevard in East Chicago, Indiana.
And that is the old
Carnegie Library.
That's right, and we have had people in here before talking about how cool the Carnegie Library is. Here, we'll give them sound. You want it? We can give you sound now, I think. There you go. AM 1230 WJOB. So you'll take that, and we'll come right out of here. Give me some of this, and we will come right out of here. There you go. We're getting some new sound, huh? The new sounds of WJOB. There you go. Malcolm putting it together on the voice of the region here. There you go, right there. So we're better off. You know all about sound and getting it right and the lighting and all of that. It's just got to be perfect or nobody feels comfortable. They feel like they're wearing somebody else's pants. You know what I mean?
I understand.
Doctor,
like having a show and you can't hear it.
Yes, exactly. So we got some pretty good sound for the people of East Chicago. So, Doctor, before we go to what you guys do with your youth and so forth, let's talk about the building, because a lot of people around the Calumet region know it as the Carnegie Library that was built when? How many years ago, Ron?
It was built in 1913.
1913?
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful building on Grand, did you say?
It's Grand Boulevard.
Yeah, it's on Grand Boulevard, yeah. And tell us a little bit about the building and then about the renovations.
The building, it's a beautiful building inside and out. When you walk in, it's just a breathtaking facility. What's wonderful about the building is when I first had the opportunity to go in and view the building, it was a total wreck. It was a mess. It didn't seem like anything could be done with that building. But when you walk into the building now, you just see an amazing transformation of a building. And something that I love about the building, it had died sometime during the 70s, but now that building has been resurrected again. It's been recycled to resurrect the minds of children in that community, to recycle a community, to recycle a city, and ultimately to recycle our whole entire world through these wonderful, talented kids with their dreams and their goals, and that they can be successful. It's already started.
Now, is there a theater in there, or is it just rooms? I think I took a tour, like maybe when I worked here in the mid-'80s, and I don't remember much about it other than it was kind of a broken down building at the time. So what is it now?
Well, at this particular time, we have, it can be used for multiple different types of venues. We transformed it into a venue for an auditorium. We had to bring in portable staging, portable lighting, the flooring for our dance and choreography, the chairs and those things, but it's not permanent. at this particular time that had to be moved out, and now we'll be doing something else with it. But we'll always use it for an auditorium or any type of performances that we need to have within the city.
We've got Dr. Leon Kendrick, 219-845-1100. If you have any questions about the Carnegie Library or about his programs, you could call him right now at 219-845-1100. And to all you folks on television in East Chicago, you can't call right now because it's taped. So don't even pick it up and try to start calling us right now, for you at least. Dr. Kendrick, so tell us what is housed in the Carnegie Library now, your organization.
The organization that's housed in the Carnegie Library is called Leon Kendrick Youth Voices United of East Chicago.
Leon Kendrick Youth Forces United?
Youth Voices United.
Youth Forces United. So LKYFU. Is that right?
No.
Yeah.
That would be YVU.
Okay.
Youth Voices.
Voices. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. United. Youth Voices and United. So what does that name mean?
That name indicates that we have various different cultures coming together to unite, to make harmony and make a perfect blend. That's using our young people within the city of East Chicago, surrounding regions, whatever we can do to bring the perfect blend together. Just like you make harmony with music, you take harmony as two or more different types of voices or harmonies coming together. We're taking all the various cultures, blending together, that we can make a perfect blend to raise up peace in the community and around the world.
So this Leon Kendrick Youth Voices United, so what, the kids come there after school, during school, in the summer, what is it?
Well, after school, they're coming after school. They're coming on weekends. We've had them on Saturdays. We've had them on Sundays to produce this, our last performance that we did. They come basically now Tuesday through Friday. We will also introduce a summer program where it'll be from 8 o'clock until 3 in the afternoon. So that's what we do with the kids now. We offer dance, drama, music, visual arts, audio and video technology, piano lessons, jazz palms, different types of dance styles that we do.
219-845-1100. We're going to take a call here. If you guys want to talk to Leon Kendrick about what's going on. Hey, Dave, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, yes. I remember that building being the library when I grew up in East Chicago. That was the East Chicago Library. Does anybody remember that?
It was the East Chicago Library at one point before they built the new one on Chicago Avenue. Is that true?
That's correct.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, really?
That was a library. That was a library. I grew up in that neighborhood, and that building has been there in disrepair for many years. And I think it started one time, and they started it, they ended it, they started it, they ended it. But can it be a coincidence that at the same time, at the election time, at this time, that this building is opening at the same time for the election time?
You know what? I'm going to answer that one because there's absolutely, in my mind, I don't believe anyone could time this, because if I was doing shows about this 5 years ago when they were trying to get it going, and I mean, this is a many-year process to get this going. So
I'm thinking maybe it's a coincidence, or could I? I mean, I'm just.
No, I understand your questions about it, because it is election time, but it's also.
But I do understand that. I see a lot of things going on in Chicago. I see things are developing, and just maybe it's just coincidence, or am I just assuming something?
Okay, well, we addressed that already, but what about this? You used to go to that library.
Oh, I was a kid there. I mean, I used to go to that library. Used to have the upstairs. Used to be the main library. Downstairs used to be like the children's library. I grew up in that neighborhood. I lived on Grand Boulevard.
Oh, okay.
3608, right across the street.
So you got good memories of the building, put it that way.
I know that building back and forth, up and down, every place.
All right, man. Thanks a lot, Dave. Yeah, the political nature of that's not what Leon and I are here for today. We're here to talk about the Leon Kendrick Youth Voices United, and that is at the old... What, do you still calling it the Carnegie Library?
No, it's called East Chicago Academy for Visual and Performing Arts.
So you're not the only thing in that building. There's other things?
No.
Okay, it's East Chicago Academy for Visual and Performing Arts. So there are. I mean, it's your program, and,
Yes.
and that takes all right.
Yes.
So that's the name of the building, and that is the name of the program. So, I mean, what do you guys do? Dance, drama, music? You put any performances on?
We just completed a performance last week. It ran through May 19th through the 22nd.
March 19th through
March,
the
I'm
22nd.
sorry.
There you go. You know what? It's very difficult to even say the word May right now because it's snowing like a banshee out right now, and that is nasty weather. So don't say May. It's March, and it's
March
snowing.
19th.
Yeah.
And the title of the production, it was a production that I wrote, and it was called A City Resurrected
A City Resurrected was the
Yes.
name of the...
production.
And who wrote it?
I did.
Okay, tell us what it was about.
It was about taking the creativity and the history of that building, what the gentleman just talked about, the building that was created in 1913. And then it died sometime during the 1970s. And it stayed there, just a broken piece of junk in the community, a sore eye within the community. And I was approached in 2013 by the mayor to see what we could do to bring the performing arts to the city of East Chicago. As I went in that building and saw the broken pieces and all of the things that was in the building that was destroyed, I had an opportunity to think back on the kids within that community whose minds had begun to cease to live. And I thought about how wonderful it would be to resurrect the minds of kids that once came to a library to learn. Now we can resurrect their thinking through music and the arts, that they can recycle that community. They can resurrect that city, and ultimately they can resurrect the world through our music and our talents to continue to raise up peace for every child here and around the world.
Now, you talk about their minds cease to live. What do you mean by that?
Meaning, if you talk to a lot of our kids now, you ask them a question or you try to give them advice, and it's whatever. I don't care. It don't matter. It doesn't matter with me. So what? Those minds now need to know that they have purpose. And it does matter. And if we can give them hope and we can give them dreams and we can allow their dreams to live and not turn into nightmares, then we can resurrect and recycle the children. We've called our children waste. You know, that's a waste of time. Why are we spending the time with that? But when you look at the word waste, W-A-S-T-E, you can look and see the recycling even in that, the word was, W-A-S, where those kids can now be labeled was waste, no more. They have something to do. They have something to look forward to. They have a place to go that they can use their talents and they can use their gifts. They can use their ability with creative writing and recycle the city of East Chicago. That's what the building is about now.
What kind of talent you getting coming through there?
Oh, marvelous talent, raw talent. Kids, from 7 years old, get up there and they would draw tears from your eyes. My wife came to one of the practices, and a little boy from Cary God's School began to sing. He said, "Mr. Kendrick, I am so afraid to do this." And I said, "Look me in my eye. That's your strongest feature, your eyes. And you direct your talent to the person that you're singing to, and you look them dead in the eye." The next day, the boy came back. He said, "Mr. Kendrick, I'm not afraid anymore. I can do this." And I brought some people in to take a look at him, and so that he could have an audience to perform during the practice. And my wife, she held her hands to her mouth, and she said, "Oh, if I could just grab that little boy and give him whatever he wants." And that's what we have to do as people in a community, to recycle what their fears, that they're no longer afraid to be the best of the best.
219-845-1100. You're listening to Dr. Leon Kendrick. He's talking about what's going on at the old Carnegie Library, and that is in East Chicago. It's Leon Kendrick Youth Voices United. They just finished A City Resurrected on the 22nd of March. By the way, we're coming up on the top of the hour. You are listening to AM 1230 WJOB in Hammond, Indiana. So if you've got any comments or you want to give them encouragement, whatever it might be, you are in the harbor, basically, right there with that. Is that right, on Grand Boulevard? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're in the harbor. One of the grittier areas of the Calumet region, right there in the harbor, and you get a lot of kids that are coming in that are very, they're living in some poverty in that area and so forth. How can you convince them of, hey, you know what? Oftentimes people are, worried about day-to-day things, especially as kids. How can you convince them that there is some merit to getting involved in the arts?
It's more of children. I notice with young people, they can sense you. They know you. It's almost like a dog can sense fear. They know when you really care about them. They know when you're really concerned about them. I don't have to do very much to convince them. Once they walk into the program, they may walk in afraid. They may walk up, because I'm a pretty good taskmaster as far as pulling talent out of kids. Once they feel that genuine love, that family sense, if they can't, some of them have it at home, some of them don't. But when they walk in that place and they're convinced I'm in a place where people actually care about me, they're concerned about me from the inside out, not from the outside in, I don't have to convince them. They're ready. They're coming. We approached a group of young people maybe about 2 months ago. Once those kids, and these were not the kids that were the cream of the crop. These were kids that were getting in trouble in school. But once they came through that program, and one thing I'm going to demand from them, and that's discipline, because you can be talented with no discipline. It just goes down the drain. But discipline with talent can bring about delight for those kids, and that's something that they found through the program. Once they develop that discipline, they can take whatever talent they have and they can increase it to where it needs to be. They can go from A to Z to complete the 26 alphabets of life that they need to succeed.
I'm giving you some encouragement there, but I'm also telling you not to tap that table, as you well know. So there you go. Hey, listen, so you talk about these kids walking in now. You have the Carnegie Library, which I remember, if I remember correctly, was completely renovated with some sort of federal grant along with local monies matched. Am I right on that?
That's correct.
So you got this big, huge building that has been completely done. It's on Grand Boulevard. What is the 100 block of Grand on that? 3600.
Yeah.
So it's not too far from the K House. Maybe is several blocks right down. I think K House is 37th and Deodore, maybe something like that. But anyways, so you have the building and you have the program. Now, what kind of kid? You know what? I'll let them ask questions. I have plenty of questions, but let's go to Monique first. Hey, Monique, how you doing?
Good morning and happy Friday.
Good. What's going on?
Well, I went to that program last week, and it was a great program. It was very impressive and very uplifting. And it was so encouraging to see all the kids singing and happy and doing positive things. And I just wanted to, congratulate Leon on a great program.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being there.
So, how many kids were up on the stage around?
Approximately 35 to 40.
So, what was the singing like, Monique? Was it?
You know, you would have thought that they were somewhat taking professional voice lessons, and I'm not just saying that. I mean, you had to really see it. And I think, Steve Segura videotaped it, so, there is probably a videotape on ECTV on Facebook. They were great. The kids were beaming. When you see the kids and they're wanting to do stuff, it's very encouraging.
Thanks for your call. And by the way, they did get professional voice training because you were teaching them, right?
That's correct. Thank you so much.
Hey, let's go to Michael on line 2. You're on with Dr. Leon Kendrick. What's going on, Michael?
Good morning. How you doing today?
Good. What's up?
Listen, I'm just calling in to commend Dr. Kendrick in his efforts of just allowing God to use him in a mighty way, to encourage these children. And I had the opportunity to attend one of the productions last week, and not only was I impressed, but I was empowered by the children, but then also I was empowered by, what I've seen Dr. Kendrick do when he was an instructor in the school city of East Chicago, and now that he has taken his ministry to another level, I just want to commend him and tell him to just keep allowing God to use him in a mighty, mighty way. And if there's anything that you think that you may need, my name is Michael. You and I engaged in a lot of conversation in your employment during your tenure at the high school. So just keep up the good work.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Michael. 219-845-1100. I'm sorry, we don't have time for any more phone calls. So I just want to get a little more details on this. Now, what kids, what age groups, how do they go there? How much does it cost? What? Give us all that.
Okay, what kids, we service kids now from 7 to 18. If they would like to get information on how to enroll in the program, they can look on www.lkyvu.org, and all the information will be there. That's our website. They can also call 1-888-628-2652 for information.
And that'll get to you or to your office or whatever. And that is Dr. Leon Kendrick. He has Leon Kendrick Youth Voices United, former teacher or administrator at EC Central?
Former music teacher.
Music teacher at EC Central. Are you an East Chicago guy originally or what?
No, I'm actually out of Gary, Indiana.
And which high school would that have
Horace
been?
Mann.
Horace Mann, which no longer exists.
No longer
Other than
exists.
as I think they still do some arts classes and stuff there, right? So Dr. Leon Kendrick comes out of Miller. Wait, no, Horace Mann was downtown.
That was downtown.
Yeah, I'm thinking of, what was the one? Wirt. I'm thinking of Wirt. I'm sorry. And that's a big, bad mistake to make, to mistake a Horace Mann guy for Wirt. So edit this out, will you please? I'm sorry about that, but whatever. So you come out of downtown Gary area, and you're working in East Chicago Central, and now you're here at the Carnegie, former Carnegie Library. It's a nice evolution in life, huh?
Almost definitely. It's just been a wonderful process taking me to the double octave of my life.
The double octave of your life.
That's right.
Now, is that something you've trademarked, or can I use that here on the radio, too?
It's trademarked.
Is it? Well, do I have permission to use it that I'm at the double octave of my life?
That's great.
I like it,
We
man.
wanna
That's good
pass it
stuff.
on.
Thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, and if you want to check it out, it's lkyvu.org, lkyvu.org, and check it out. I'm going to do that. Thanks a lot. AM 1230 WJOB in Hammond, Indiana. We are done right now, and veterans invade the studio.